Good afternoon, sellers. Thank you all for joining. Before we begin our presentation, that is the PPT that we have prepared for today's webinar, would walk you through and take 2 minutes of your time to walk you through the tool that we are using today. The tool is called as GoToWebinar tool, and there are few things that you should be aware of. You must be seeing a questions tab. Please go ahead and post in whatever queries you have related to this particular topic on that particular questions tab. You will be able to find that on the control panel. That is the screen that you are viewing now. In a scenario where you are not able to hear anything or you're not able to view the presentation, you can use the tab in order to let us know the queries or the issues that you are facing. So apart from that, there will be a couple of polls that you will be seeing on your computer as in when we proceed further in order to customize our presentation accordingly. To start with, I'll go ahead and enable one of the poll to understand if you're able to see and view the presentation correctly. Requesting your response. Please note, whenever this poll window would come up, you will not be able to see the presentation window until and unless we close this from our end. Requesting your immediate response so that we can close it accordingly. Thank you. Please note, such polls will be there on your screen for a minute maximum. Requesting all of you to respond so that we can close and accordingly start the webinar without further delay. Thank, thank you all for your response. Without further delay, let's go ahead and start with today's webinar. Before we begin, would like to apologize beforehand because of sore throat. I might go ahead and mute at times in between our webinar. So requesting your cooperation there so that we can successfully wrap up the webinar. Now, today we will be talking about my orders, and also I will be discussing with you the new enhanced My Orders tab. So before we begin, I would like to know how many of you already have the new orders tab. Please type yes on the questions tab if you already have the new orders tab. I will be putting on mute for a minute and wait for the response to see how many of you already have the new orders dashboard. you all for your response. Do not worry. In case if you do not have the new orders tab, this particular tab or this particular update is going live on patches. As in every day, new set of sellers are getting this particular new orders tab. So slowly and gradually, even you should have it. So today we will be learning about the following topics. We will start with enhanced my orders dashboard, the benefits of enhanced my order dashboard, understanding the new dashboard, how to process order, and tips to manage order. Now, before we begin, as this is, you might already be aware of this particular mascot. She's Orders Banerjee. And these are a couple of tips. Before we begin, we would like you all to be prepared for the upcoming festive season and how should you be prepared. So these are few of the tips that we would start and come back again to have a quick revision once we are done with our entire presentation. So it has already been observed that during this festive season, sales it increases by 6 times. In order to achieve and fulfill such number of sales, it is very, very important that you list your products on time and keep your stocks ready. Now, let's follow these tips to ensure that your orders are fulfilled and you gain a lot of success in this ongoing festive season. First thing is you need to ensure that all your live listings are stocked up. Ensure that you go ahead and inward your stock whenever required on time, create a bulk consignment whenever it's required, update your stock on time before it's too late. Also, provide the LBHW details while listing for a quick and hassle-free order processing. This is very, very important. Our sellers, they miss it, and as a result, they face a lot of struggle later down the line. So ensure that you don't miss out on this minute information. Use the upcoming report to find out how many orders will be moved to your new orders tab in the coming days and plan your operations accordingly. It's always very good to stay adat se aage, and this is where you get an opportunity to know that what is coming, what needs to be done, and how you should perform in order to gain more success. And finally, use a scanner to mark the RTD to get the real time status of your order. That makes things way, way, way too faster. So now let's proceed further. Again, as mentioned, we would come back and revisit this page once we are done with the PPT. Now let's go ahead and understand my orders dashboard. So this is how this particular dashboard looks like, and the new my orders page has been designed for you to manage your orders at ease. So for starters, it is equivalent to you know my listing dashboard that you have already seen by now. You all should have it. So this is how it looks like, and I'll show you live from the dashboard also in some time, and how you can go ahead and perform actions. Also, just to let you know, things would remain the same. It's only the interface that has been changed. Things over here, like earlier, you could see couple of things were not as by segregated as it is now, but it's almost the same thing that is as of today. Now you can see this is the old dashboard, so I have a snapshot of both the dashboards. So upcoming over here, it is upcoming, it's here, and upcoming moved over here. New, so your new became pending labels. So from upcoming orders, it moves to pending labels. So new, pack, and handover, which is related to processing, came under this particular tab. So pending label, pending RTD, and pending handover. Then, when your order is dispatched after you hand it over, when it is in transit, so it moved to dispatched orders. So it is in transit and pending service. Just to mention, pending service is specifically for the products which requires post delivery services like installation of the product or anything as such. And finally, completed. That is the status of your order, which remains the same. Otherwise, everything remains the same, to be very honest. It's just how it is working. So it wouldn't take much time. I'll quickly take you through, and I'm sure that we all will be quite user friendly with this once we get to know. So again, there has been no changes when it comes to my order process is still the same. First you create it, then you approve. That is the date when your order was approved. Then or the date when your order was packed, that is you pack and you mark it RTD. Then the logistic team comes and picks up the product, and finally it is delivered. So this is how it is. Next, let's look at the benefits. So if everything is same, obviously we would be asking ourselves that why is the requirement to make changes. So let's go ahead and look at it. First thing is information available at the click. So with the usage of my listing tab, we got to see that things have become more user friendly, where things are segregated in a very customized manner and very clean way, that whatever you require, you just click on it and you get the information. Like, instead of new, everything has been well organized. Like whatever needs to come under order processing will come under that. Then the action that has to be followed next is dispatched order, and accordingly it will proceed further. So things have become more organized, which would make your life and your business more easy, more efficient. Obviously, if it becomes easy, automatically it becomes effective and more efficient. Now let's take a quick look at the user interface. So first thing, this is where you can search your order as per your requirement. Whatever is required, you can search it by order ID or order item ID, the warehouse location. Below, as shown already, these are the segregation, the way it has been customized for you. This is the filter. Again, with the launch of listing tab also, and along with other customization and the updates that are happening with other tabs, the filters have been proven to be very, very effective, where it becomes very easy for us to go ahead and apply the filters accordingly and search whatever we require in order to make our life simple. So this has also been added through orders tab, that would help you in making your search more easier. Then filters accordingly, you can see, if you click on start date, it will help you in order to select a period for which you would like to view the orders in order to generate labels. So we are talking about pending labels. That is, we would like to see the dates for which we would like to view our orders in order to generate the labels. So you can select the range and accordingly perform an action. Similarly, in terms of order tags and shipment, you can choose as per your requirement. Please note, in orders tag, the tags that you would be able to see would be based on the type of listings. and the orders that you have received. For example, if you do not have large, then you would not see this option over here. So it would keep on changing or updating as per the type of orders that you have received. Shipment type, obviously all single multiple. So accordingly, you can view it. In terms of urgency and dispatch type urgency, you can see accordingly you can apply filter SLA breach soon, and others. You can accordingly look for it along with the dispatch type. And now let's look at my orders dashboard, order processing. We'll start from order processing, the three tabs that we are looking at, starting with pending labels, where your orders whose labels are yet to be generated would be under this tab. For pending RTD are the ones for whom you need to mark RTD, and pending handovers are the one who are yet to be handed over to the logistic team, will be under this particular tab. Below, whenever you go ahead and look for an order ID, for example, you can see this. So you will have two level of display. If you click on this particular, if you look at this, this is a primary display, where you will have all the order information, like a brief general overview of the item ID, the FSN, if there's any promotion applied, if the SLA has been if the SLA has been breached, or it's yet to be breached, or if it's breaching soon. So all this information, you will have a generic view over here. That is the high level view. If you click on an order ID, you will be able to go ahead and see more detailed view. That is the secondary level view. That is where each and every information would be mentioned in a very detailed manner. For example, you can see the order date, the buyer details, the status as mentioned earlier, until unless it's delivered. All information starting with the price, the tax breakup, the promotions, all this information would be mentioned if you click on the order ID, in order to have a secondary display panel for your easy access. Next, we will look at pending labels tab. When you click on pending labels, this is how you will be able to go ahead and see, as already mentioned earlier, everywhere you'll be able to go ahead and see things easily. Now, in order to generate pending labels, let's go ahead and learn how can you generate pending labels. Now, this is method one that we are looking at. Step one, you can select the orders manually or by checking the box next to the order. So over here, if you click on this uh, drop down arrow, it will tell you this page or all page. Accordingly, you can select only this page if you want to, or you can apply the filters accordingly, and then look for the type of orders that you would like to generate labels for. Then you can go ahead and you can click on generate labels. You can see I have selected 20 orders over here, and all I need to do is click on generate labels. The moment I click on this, this is the next window that I will be getting in. So all the orders that I have selected will come up like this, right? And if I click on one order, this is the page that would come up, where it will ask me to enter the length, breadth, weight, and height, where I'll have to enter this correctly and update it accordingly. So I'll have to do this for all the orders that I have selected in order to complete the lab, label process successfully. Once I have generated this particular label, all the orders that I have generated the label for will successfully move to the next tab. That is, sorry, once I have updated all this information, once I have updated everything, I'll have to click on process label. Once I click on process label, the moment this is done, it will move to the next tab where I need to continue further with my next action. Now, this is method one, as already mentioned. The second one is using bulk file. I'm sure that you all are aware of. You can go ahead, click on bulk action, click on download bulk file, download the bulk stock file, and then you will have to go ahead and enter all this information over here. Once you have updated this, you need to go ahead and upload the file, bulk file. So if you can see, all this information is here. You need to note that you will see an error file if there is something wrong in one of the rows of the bulk file. So let's go ahead and look at the error file. So this is how the error file will look like. Please note that this is a read-only file. So you can download the file, you cannot make any changes. However, you need to download the bulk file once again, update it again, and then upload the correct file. You will not be able to make changes to the error file and then upload the correct file. So you need to redo the same action again. Please let me know if you're thorough so far. If yes, please type yes in the questions tab. Perfect. Let's proceed further. Now, this is how you'll be able to go ahead and after you upload the bulk file, you'll be able to go ahead and track the process. Like you can see, it's written over here that it's processing labels. You can view your orders. You can see that it's been processed. You can download the labels if you want and keep it handy. Now, order confirmation. That is, by clicking on the order, you can view more information as we have already discussed earlier. This is again an overview. You'll be able to go ahead and view such information handy, like it's mentioned over here. If it's no plastic packaging, it will be mentioned over here about the potential miss shipment. Sellers, I'll be putting it on mute for a second. Kindly bear with me. Thank you for your patience. Now let's proceed further. Now we will be moving to the next tab, that is pending RTD. It's pretty simple and easy. Over here, in terms of pending RTD, what you need to do is it's the similar action. Orders for which you need to go ahead and you have already generated labels that we have learned so far, and then you need to go ahead and mark it RTD in order to move it to the next tab that is ready for handover. Now over here, if you want, you can go ahead and reprint the labels once again. Now let's look at how you can mark RTD. Now, first thing, select the orders manually. Same action you can take it. Once you have selected, you need to click on Mark RTD. Once you have clicked on Mark RTD, you will have a pop-up confirmation window asking you to click on Mark RTD, as this action cannot be reversed. Now, this is where you will have to click on this to proceed further. Now, this is second method. You can also scan or type the AWB number in order to mark the RTD in bulk, as you can see. But in this case, you will not have any confirmation window appear. So once you have scanned it, total scan will come over here, and then whatever has been marked as RTD will come over here, and whichever scans it has failed, it will come over here. So accordingly, you can take actions. In a scenario where you have entered a AWB number which is incorrect, system will show you this particular message stating that it could not identify the AWB number and will ask you to please check again. So ensure that whatever AWB number you enter, it should be correct, and accordingly you can make your actions faster. Now, a couple of things, and these are very important things that we would like you to remember specifically during this festive season. You need to ensure that you mark RTD once your products are packed and ready to dispatch only. Ensure that it is marked RTD once your products are packed and it's ready to dispatch. Please do not mark it beforehand. In case if you mark RTD before your products are ready, you might end up delaying your products delaying your orders handover and miss your first pickup. It has happened many times that you might have marked RTD but missed out on packing the product, and as a result, when the logistic team came up, they couldn't, go ahead and pick up the product because it was not ready, and as a result, pickup reattempt came into the picture. So ensure such instances do not happen to you, because that might actually hamper not only your scores but also your sales, specifically during this particular season, right? Multiple pickup reattempts will also hamper your score, like I just mentioned. For multiple part order, scan type AWB for each shipments included. If you miss the first pickup, your order will automatically be added to the pickup schedule later, and those will be marked as pickup attempts. So ensure such things are not being missed, and accordingly, you take quick action. Let's quickly learn pending handover. When we speak about pending handover, this is how it will look like. You'll be able to perform the following action. First, you can get the pickup report. You can track your picked up product orders which are in transit, and you can tally the same. You can also filter your order as per the date, the logistic partner, and the handover tags, like orders with reattempts. Accordingly, you can make changes to the filters and apply the correct one. Also, you can download the manifest. This file will provide you the tracking ID, the order ID, time, date when RTD was marked, and shipment type. So these are something that you'll be able to go ahead and follow once you have downloaded the manifest. When we speak about the logistic partner filter, by clicking on one of the logistic partner handover card, you can track the order for the particular logistic partner. So for example, over here, the e-cart has been selected. You can see that how much orders would be picked up by e-cart Accordingly, you can go back, and if there's delivery, you can select that, and you can see that how many orders would be picked up by the other logistic team accordingly, and what would be the pickup time and date, and how much are the hours which are left. You can also go ahead and extend the orders also to understand that if it's a pickup reattempt or not, and if it's ready, if you have marked it ready to dispatch, and other information. Like, normally if you want to just have a look of this particular information, you can certainly go ahead and look at it. Now let's look at dispatched orders. So sellers, please type yes if it's thorough so far before we proceed further and move on to the next tab, that is dispatched orders. Meanwhile, I'll be putting it on mute for a minute and waiting for a response. Thank you all for your response. Let's proceed further. So, when we speak about dispatched order, as we already learned, that after your orders are being processed and it's being handed over to our logistic partner, you will be able to go ahead and track that the status of your order. So in under dispatched orders, you'll be able to go ahead and track two tabs. One is in transit, that is on the way, and the other one is pending service. So just to make things clear, at times you would see that, from in transit, it directly moved to completed orders. And couple of times you would see in transit, then pending service, and then completed orders. So the difference over here, I have already mentioned a bit earlier, that the products which requires services after being delivered are being moved to pending service. So for example, if you're delivering a kurti or anything in terms of clothing, right? So obviously, after it's delivered, you would not go over there to provide extra service. So it would directly move to complete orders. Let's imagine, there's a bed that has been delivered, and then obviously installation of that particular bed would be required. So in that case, the bed would move from here to here, and then once the installation is done, it would move to this particular tab. Now, in transit, as I already discussed, you can always go ahead and click on the orders. So when you click on in transit, it will show you all the orders which are in transit. You can go and click on it accordingly, and you can see if it's delivered or not. So you can click on it individually and perform the action. Next, the most important thing, right? So this is something that we would like though like you all to understand and ensure that you avoid doing it, specifically during this particular festive season, because right now sales are at peak, and you need to understand that, cancellation of your orders might come up with certain consequences. So let's look at it. Before we proceed further, let's understand how, obviously you all would be aware of, just to see that how will you be able to go ahead and cancel your orders by using this particular new tab. So first thing you need to do is you need to go ahead and select the order. Next to bulk action, you are able to go ahead and see cancel orders, right? You need to click on that. This is the window that would come up. You need to provide a proper reason for cancellation and then click on cancel products. Please note that it is only allowed from pending labels tab and upcoming tab. After you have moved it to RTD, you will not be able to go ahead and cancel the orders. Again, few things that you need to remember, that it will impact your seller score and seller tiering. Your listings will go pending for 7 days if the reason is inappropriate. You'll be charged penalty for cancellation of orders. Your account might go pending, might go on pending status if your cancellation is above the marketplace threshold. So above all, keep your stocks ready. Please, 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 specifically during this particular season, do not cancel the order, because this would not only impact your score but overall your trust that the customer has put on you. So ensure that those things are being taken care of and the simple hygiene has been followed. Now, a couple of warnings that the dashboard might throw up. Let's look at it. So the system warning, the first thing is you will receive such warning, system warning, if you are about to miss the SLA for your order. You can click on download and then take quick action based on the orders which you are about to miss the SLA for. So such whenever you are about to go ahead and miss the SLA, so the system would give you a warning that this and this are about to be missed. Accordingly, you can take action. Also, this message would pop up when your label creation has failed due to the weight anomaly. So if the weight anomaly information is incorrect, so this is the message that the system would throw up. So these are the two system warning. Now before we move to Q&A, let's quickly look at the tips that we have learned. Ensure that we have not forgotten it, because that is very, very important. You need to ensure that your live listings are being kept in stock, obviously, in order to avoid cancellation. Also provide the LBHW I showed you where, in order to have a hassle-free order processing. Use the upcoming report in order to find out how many orders will be moved to the new tab, in this case the pending label tab, and you can go ahead and use a scanner to mark the RTD to get the real-time status. So let me quickly show you how it looks like. So this is how the tab looks like. So this is a test account. If you go to upcoming order, you can download the upcoming report CSV, and this is the pending label. You can see. You can get a proof of pickup too, right? So if you require it, you can go ahead, click on the proof of pickup. Let me see if this works. Okay, there's nothing, so I'll not be able to go ahead and see anything. So no. So this is how you can go ahead and download the pending service. Completed orders would come over here. You can change this when was the service completed, and accordingly you can look for it and the upcoming orders. So sellers would like to know if the tips that we have shared were useful, and also your feedback on the new questions tab. We are open for question while we are uh, pulling up a few polls on the screen. Please start typing your questions as in when we go, and accordingly, we will start pulling up a poll requesting your response. So I'll be putting it on mute until then and waiting for your questions. Thank you. We are waiting for questions to come in. We'll take 5 to 7 minutes while we go through all the questions that has been asked. And slowly and gradually, once we close all the polls, we would start our Q&A session. Meanwhile, please respond. Please respond to that particular poll. The sellers, after this, there will be the last poll that is about the webinar so far. So once we have closed all the poll, we would start with our Q&A. Sellers, the feedback window is open for another 30 seconds, requesting your patience, and then we would start with our Q&A. I have already went through a couple of questions, so we can see a lot of questions coming in. Thank you all for your response. So let's proceed further with Q&A. So now, as we can see, to start with the question today, Ashish is asking, how can we know that why the customer has returned our product? So Ashish, whenever you get a return request, right, on your returns tab, customers normally they mention the reason that why they are returning the product. So based on the reason, you can obviously go ahead and make out automatically that why they have returned the product. And in a scenario where your products are getting returned, let's assume that you are selling a material or a particular item, and that is being returned multiple times. So in that case, would go ahead and request you to kindly check the quality of the product that you are actually selling, because one person might mistakenly return it. But if a product is getting returned again and again, then there might be some quality issues with the product. So in that case, please look into it. What should I do in order to make my orders more visible? So, Satya, uh, in that case, if you want your orders to be more visible, first thing that your products, or rather your listings, to be more visible, if you can help me understand what is the product that you are selling, so that I can take that as an example and give you more, appropriate answer. So, Ashish, I'm not sure if you have heard of something called as SPF claim. So, in a scenario, if your customer returns a damaged product, there's a claim that is called as SPF, that is Seller Protection Fund, right? So, what happens is the day the customer has returned it, you have got 14 days period. You can file an SPF claim where you know uh, Flipkart would do an investigation, and based on the damaged, certain percentage of the reimbursement would be done to you. But you need to provide a copy of your invoice, plus you need to provide pictures. And when you say damage, it should be appropriate. And the photo that is on your listing dashboard and the product, it should match. It shouldn't be different when you speak about being damaged. Ashish, when you say how can we know which is the proper vertical to list your product? So it depends on the product that you are trying to list. Every product has got its own vertical. So depends on the product again. So Vikas would try to go back and try to see the product that you are trying to go ahead and sell, right? For example, if you're going ahead and trying to sell a t-shirt, try to see the competitors, as in, on flipkart.com, you can go visit and see that the entire t-shirt section. So that would actually give you a visibility. Maybe it's the price, because so sellers, please keep that in mind, that whenever a customer visits flipkart.com or any e-commerce platform, as a matter of fact, the first thing they do in order to choose a product is see the photo, see the photo, and then the price. That is the first point of attraction, right? So you need to ensure that the price is not too pricey. Check the market, right? Check the market. Sorry about that. Check the market, see that how much is the price on an average for t-shirts which are being sold, and accordingly give a price that is understandable, not too pricey, right? If you're trying to sell a t-shirt for 1000, 2000 rupees, that would not make sense. So you can go ahead, check the difference, and accordingly put on a correct price. The third thing after checking the price and photo is the product information or the product description. So when ensure that the more information you provide about your product, the more uh, attractive a customer becomes towards it, right? Ensure that your products are, it comes along with ample amount of information. So sellers, one more update that I wanted you all to be aware of. It is in terms of packaging. I'm sure that you all are aware that about the plastic ban in Maharashtra, right? So even in India, it would be going effective starting 31st of September. And whatever plastic packaging that is the security bags and the plastic packaging that you have of Flipkart as of today, ensure that it is over by 21st of September. Starting 8th of September, you will have the new packaging material available on flipkart.com that you can purchase, and communication would be rolled out to you, and accordingly you will have to take actions, because after 21st, if you start uh, sending your packages, that is sending your orders to our logistic team by using the old packages, then your entire consignment would be rejected. So ensure that your packaging is appropriate. Ashish, your scenario, it would take some time to go ahead and look into it. Requesting you to go ahead and raise a ticket with, because this is not a listing webinar. Unfortunately, I don't even have a QC with me right now who would have looked into it and answered you appropriately. So requesting you to raise a ticket as of now as we are talking, and look into it. I'm sure that they'll be able to go ahead and help you. So, guys, I do not see any further questions coming up with regards to orders. Please let me know if there's any particular issues or concerns that you might have related to orders. Okay, that's pretty much it then. Thank you so much for your time. And as I do not see any further queries coming up, we would go ahead and wrap up today's session here. Thank you for your time and for your patience. You have a beautiful day ahead and happy selling. Take care. Bye.